Hello, I'm Layover in Zurich trying to get rich by visiting its financial center, checking out many of its famous landmarks, taking a clean breath of air at the riverside, and confessing my sin at many of the historic churches, getting admitted to one of the top university museums, and ending the day by window shopping at absolutely the most expensive street in the world, and trying to find love by visiting the red light district, and finally, a nice little walk at one of the iconic promenade. Not to mention, trying to find cheap eats and getting around the local way. All free, all under 16 hours, all done safely, inexpensively, and easily. Journey to your final destination. Welcome to Zurich, everyone. We have landed, and the good thing about business class is we get to deboard first. Welcome to Zurich, a historic city permanently settled for 2,000 years and founded by the Romans. Today, it's the largest city in Switzerland and one of the world's largest financial centers and banking powerhouse. It's home to 1/5 of the country's population of 2 million in its metropolitan area, and famous for its luxurious lifestyles, high-end shopping, and fancy chocolates. So, let's get going. So the great thing about Switzerland is it's a part of Schengen area, so there's no passport control if you're coming from one of the partner areas. Since Switzerland is a country full of bankers, you don't really need to use the ATM. Your platinum credit cards are accepted everywhere. Case in point, including getting down to the city center. I recommend you get a 24-hour day tickets for the public transportation directly from the airport tourist center. The train takes about 15 minutes to get down to the city center, so sit back, relax, enjoy the ride. So the 24-hour pass gets you access to all the transportation in the city, and I'm really going to try to make the most out of it. Right now, I'm waiting for my tram to get to my hostel. So, I'm excited. I hope you are too. But there's good news if you like to walk instead. Most of the attractions are located in the old town and easily accessible on foot, or you can easily roam it with a free bicycle rental with a valid ID and a deposit. I also recommend you stay in the old town where my accommodation sponsors are located. The Old Town Hostel offers clean and comfortable dorm beds and private rooms right at the heart of the old town, with free lockers, full kitchen, and free basic breakfast along with all-day tea and coffee. And the best of all, free Swiss welcome chocolates. Thanks, guys. So if you're coming during the daytime, a great place to start is right here at Zurich Opera House. It's been home to Zurich Opera since 1891 and also home to Zurich Ballet. Built in 1834, the Acton Theatre was the first permanent theatre in Zurich, but was burnt down in 1890. The new municipal theatre, Stadtler Theater Zurich, was designed by Viennese architect Feller and Hammer and started the construction almost immediately, and was opened only 16 months later in 1891. The new building became the first opera house in Europe to have electrical lightings and was the city's main performance space for drama, opera, and musical events until 1925, when separate theatre for plays was built. Right across from Zurich Opera House is this nice riverside promenade where you can get a really nice panoramic scenic view of Lake Zurich. And what's so interesting about the swan that lives here is when you point cameras at them, they actually come closer to you. It's a great way to meet some new friends. This is also where Swiss ladies with infants exercise. If you can catch up to them and able to sweet talk to them, good news, the fresh flowers are waiting and they are free, so good luck. I continue on by crossing the historic Kudaper Bridge to arrive at Paradeplatz, a town square and a lakeshore promenade that was built between 1881 and 1887. In the weekends, this area is transformed into a flea market for you to look for bargains on second-hand jewelries and antiques. Overlooking the Lake Zurich is a prominent Greek mythologic sculpture of Ganymede, a handsome king's son that was adopted by Zeus and taken up to the top of Mount Olympus. The statue was completed by Hermann Hubacher in 1952. However, the artist claimed the work of art is inspired by ancient mythology, but his sculpture is not a Greek Ganymede, but rather a Swiss one. If you need to confess your sins, there's no shortage of churches. One of the most historic is Fraumunster, translated into English as Women's Minister. The church is built on the remains of former abbeys for aristocrat women, which is founded in 853 by Louis the German for his daughter Hildegard. After confessing, let's get rich. You actually need to be rich to own anything in Switzerland, especially real estate, like this square, a former livestock market known as the pig market during the 17th centuries. So ladies and gentlemen, we are here in Burkliplatz, and this is the world-famous Switzerland's financial center, and this piece of real estate, this is the most expensive in Switzerland. It's also famous for being the home to UBS and Credit Suisse. But I will leave the shopping for pigs at a later time, since I can find any nearby at the pedestrian zone Augustinergasse. This is not just the most well-known visitors attraction of the oldest area of the city. It was once a public transportation point, but today it still contains some of the most beautiful historical narrow street in the city, with many well-preserved, colorful painted bay windows. It provides an insight into the history of the city. The area is also home to the oldest parish church in Zurich, the St. Peter's Church built in the 9th century on the site of the former Roman castle. The city's first mayor, Rudolf Bern, acquired the church in 1345 and was buried here in 1360. And since that time, the ownership has exchanged hands many times. And strangely, the church tower and the nave do not have the same owner. Until the French Revolution, the tower belonged to a former city republic of Zurich. And since 1803 to the city of Zurich, belfry and bells belong to the Reformed Church of Canton of Zurich, as well as the staircase leading to the tower. The church tower was primarily used as fire watchtower, and in 1340 the first fire guard was set in duty. Today it is the largest tower clock face in Europe, with a face measuring 8.7 meters in diameter and its 5 bells dating from 1880 weighs over 6 tons. Zurich is full of parks and gardens, so make sure to take a moment to rest if you got the time. But for me, I like to continue on to another old historic area on the left-hand shore of Lemmick Lake. The name Schipfe is used by the fishermen to describe how they push their boats to and from the riverbank. During the Middle Ages, Schipfe was transfer point for essential merchandise, and from the 16th century, it became the headquarters of silk industry and the location of bathhouse and boat building. Even today, this riverside remains a street of artisans selling high-quality craft. If you want to learn some German and like shopping, there's Rindy, another one of the oldest part of Zurich. It's a medieval main road and inner city pedestrian zone. This used to be a German-speaking territory where horses were moved, but today it's considered the second most exclusive shopping area in the city. By the way, make sure to enjoy many of the street arts and historical statues. They can be found everywhere, so pay attention. After all this walking, let's eat and get ready to lighten up your wallet big time. Now, considering the cost of food here is like sky high, and the only cheap option is, well, not even cheap, but decent option in American standard is McDonald's. Oh yeah, I'm loving it. I have to. Oh yeah, finding cheap eats is harder than finding a living dinosaur in this country, but not impossible. There are sandwiches and freshly made pizzas available all over the street, and pastries in the supermarket along with fresh fruit. But thank goodness, I do have a little more to spare, just a little bit more. You can lose weight no matter what. You can come to Zurich. Either your wallet can get lightened or you're not gonna eat at all. But there are some that are more affordable, and this is probably one of them. And this pasta cost me 15 franc. It comes with a bread roll, and just remember there is service fee here, so tips is included. With that being said, I'm going to try to enjoy my meal because I really pay a lot for this. So bon appetit. Now, for those of you who are seriously want to lose weight by lighting up your wallet, I got a guaranteed solution for you. It's super easy. All you need to do is visit the most expensive street for retail property in Europe and the third most expensive worldwide. That's no joke. So this is Bahnhofstrasse. It's Zurich's main downtown street and is one of the world's most exclusive and most expensive shopping avenues. And you know, that is true when a single piece of chocolate costs $8 US. To get that, I definitely need to ask for a pay raise. The world-renowned shopping boulevard was created after the construction of Zurich main railway station. You'll find numerous boutiques, department stores, and timepiece stores here. So don't forget to bring your gold credit card with a very seriously high credit limit. Now I have to say, everything here costs a lot more than good old USA, but there's one thing that's world class. It's free, and that is Swiss water. They come from the Alps, and when you see a fountain like this, and suck it dry. Now here in Zurich, everything closed pretty early, around 5 to 6. Not good news if you're having a late layover, but there are a few places that's open 24 hours, like right here, Schanzengraben Promenade. Now this used to serve as a defense system, a fortress, but today is mostly used as a recreational. Now if you keep going that way, you will actually see many significant historical landmarks, such as the walls to the old botanical garden. In the 17th century, the construction of the fortress was the most ambitious building project in Zurich's history during its 30-year war. It became a pedestrian zone since 1984. The promenade leads from the Zurich's main railway station over the boardwalk and sandstone slabs to the lake. However, if your flight arrives really late, don't panic. You can always visit Langstrasse. During the day, there is shopping, but at night, there's bar and cuisine actions. This is where all the young people hang out and is considered the coolest neighborhood among them. There's also where you can find love with money. No joke. So Zurich is not famous for having an active nightlife, as you can see, especially during the weekdays. Now if you really want to check out, then this is an area for you to come to. There's still some pubs and bars down there that's open, and just be warned though, this is also the hippies come, and it's also Zurich's red light district. Next morning, I headed over to Zurich HP, the heart of city's transportation link, connecting to a neighboring countries like Germany, Italy, Austria, and France, serving up to 2,915 trains per day, making it one of the busiest in the world. Now here in Zurich, very few things are free, including museums. But there's two of them are run by University of Zurich. That is free, and we're hiking up right now. But I'm not going anywhere far. In fact, my next stop is accessible on foot or by a short ride away. I'm going to get myself admitted to one of the best universities in the world and largest in Switzerland, the University of Zurich. But I think my grade will only allow me to get into the museums. 2 in total, with first being the Zoological Museum. I think all the hiking is worth it. And finally here, isn't that great? No ticket office. This is the third oldest ethnological museum in Switzerland. It was established in 1889 and handed over to the University of Zurich in 1914. The university today maintains a collection for research and teaching. You know what? I have a feeling if I stay here long enough, I might discover something amazing and groundbreaking. Even Nobel Prize potential. So, we'll see. The museum is home to 1,500 animals. Animals large and small are displayed stuffed or as skeletons here. Jaguars, kangaroos, giant crabs, you'll be amazed what exists in the animal kingdom. You can listen to songs of 280 different birds, and insects can be viewed under a microscope. Now this is one heck of an awesome museum where you can get up close to thousands and thousands of specimens. So there's so much to see here. I think my research continues. The Paleological section features marine dinosaurs from when Switzerland was covered by an ocean, as well as giant ammonite fossils, land dinosaurs like Triceratops, and skeleton of woolly mammoth. So only 1 minute away, this is the Archaeological Museum, and it contains absolutely, oh man, ridiculous amount of rare archaeological artifacts around the globe, statues and so on. Now unfortunately I cannot show you what's inside there because filming and photography is not allowed, and I have to respect that. And one of the reasons perhaps is the thief could see what's in there and come and take the articles. Now I can tell you it is world class and it's also free, so come and check it out. Also in the walking distance is ZTH Zurich, or Swiss Federation Institute of Technology in Zurich, one of the top engineering universities in the world. And no, I don't think I'll get admitted here without a miracle. But at least their museum is open to everyone. So this is a planetary museum where you can get to know about our planet and other planets in our solar system and beyond. The goal of FocusTerra Museum is to promote the understanding, discovery, and enjoyment of Earth and planetary science. Not only help you answer questions like how was Earth formed, why do volcanoes erupt, where do precious stones come from, but also offer visitor insight into today's debates and environmental issues, addressing topics such as climate change, natural hazards, and disposal of hazardous waste. Very cool. With all that education I received today, I think it's time to head back to the airport. If you got the 24-hour transit pass, you are covered, and the best way to get back there is by public train. But here's a little advice. Now, one of the great things about Zurich is their public transportation leaves super on time, which means you cannot be late. But that being said, I'm going to hop onto my train to the airport and catch my flight. And I hope you have an amazing time here in Zurich. And I will see you next time. And by the way, enjoy your flight.